Hello everyone. Everything I'm about to explain has been tested and confirmed by the mechanics here in the shop, so don't worry, we'll go step by step. Look, when a customer comes in with the Selector Lever Malfunction message on their Audi, the first thing we do is explain that it doesn't mean the transmission is damaged. What's happening is that the car isn't properly recognizing what position the shifter is in. In other words, you can put it in P, R, or D, but the system isn't interpreting it correctly. Now, something we hear all the time is, the shifter goes in fine, but the car doesn't detect it, or I have to move it a few times for it to register. That's when we're pretty clear in the shop. Most of the time, the issue is inside the gear selector itself, specifically the contacts or the switch that sends the signal. Like one of our techs says, if it shifts but doesn't show it, it's not the transmission, it's the selector. On the other hand, we also get customers who say the issue started occasionally and then became constant. That happens because the internal wear in the selector gradually gets worse. The contacts begin to fail, send inconsistent signals, and the car gets confused. So the message shows up more and more often. Building on what we see every day, there are cases where everything started after interior cleaning or exposure to moisture. Even if it doesn't seem obvious, the selector can be affected by liquids or dirt, which interferes with the electrical signals. We've had customers say, after cleaning the car, the problem started. And yes, it happens more often than you'd think. We also can't rule out wiring or connection issues because they can cause the same kind of problem. Sometimes it's not the shifter itself, but a loose wire or a connector that isn't making proper contact. I remember a customer who came in worried, thinking it was something serious, and it turned out to be just a bad connection. We fixed it, and the problem disappeared. Meanwhile, there are situations where the car starts showing other symptoms, like not allowing you to turn it off or going into a protection mode. At that point, we suspect something more electronic, like a module not receiving the signal correctly. In those cases, one of the techs always says, "Now we've got to scan it. The car is giving us more clues."